Good evening, folks. Welcome to Chord Dave Live, because it's Saturday night, because it's 10 p.m. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks again for joining. As it's Saturday, hope you all had a good week, and Slodge. Good one. So yeah, just for those curious, we're back on the, was it Asahi? Japanese beer, because there was a bottle left in the fridge. So let's crack on. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good week. I had a pretty interesting week. Pretty cool. The new gig. It was very tempting for me yesterday to post my new job at Gibson video, and I was recording it at one point, but I decided not to go through with it. Let me know your the best guitar related April Fools you saw in the comments. That's the question for today. What's the best guitar prank you saw this week? Didn't get much time to post or to set any graphics or anything up for today, but let me know what you think, and we'll dive into the comments as usual. We'll see how things are, and we'll spend some time together like we do every Saturday. Thankfully, a better week than last week. So let's crack on with it. Yeah, Scott Bogfoot, he's nearly always first one here, because you're going to have to get up early in the morning if you're going to beat Scott to be the first in the comments. I think Marsh has been here first a few times, but Scott is 9 times out of 10. He's up there. It's good to see you, Scott. Thanks for joining us. I did see your Facebook post, by the way, with the Jackson Pro Series. Very cool looking guitar there. As I said last week, though, 7 strings is probably 4 too many for me, but there you go. No, it's all good. It looks amazing. So congrats on the purchase there, and I'm glad you've got it. Let us know what you think of it so far. John is here. Nice to see you, John. And you have a HB Strat you bought for $120 with $75 shipping, and it's still better than I had hoped for. The frets are perfect, the setup, the guitar very well, and the neck relief is perfect. Very cool, John. Yeah, glad you got a good one, because I said, like, I have one of those, the Harley Benton Strats, and I think it's phenomenal, particularly when you take in the price of it. I think they're really great guitars. So glad to see you got a good one, and you're enjoying it, because I know you had a bad experience with that Gallagher you had. So very cool. Scott says, I think inexpensive guitars are where it's at. They're definitely the most exciting when they can get it done right. I buy all of my guitars from a shop, and I have a tech that goes over everything. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, look, now is probably the best time we've ever had for inexpensive guitars. The days of inexpensive guitars being complete trash are pretty much gone. You can get some, well, that's not all of them, but you can get really good guitars for very little money these days compared to what you used to get. 20 years ago, a guitar for $120. I mean, you may as well have just, chopped down a tree, put some strings on it. There you go. Because it's not going to be any better. Paint it red, maybe. But yeah, some cool stuff out there. Glad to see that John's got a good one there. Marcia says, wait, now it says 5 p.m. when we've been doing 6 p.m. since the clock changed. Dave is totally messing with us. Not messing with you. The clock changed for you guys, but it only changed for us last Saturday after the live stream finished, like an hour later. We're missing an hour, so yeah, we're back. Whatever time it is for you now is what it will be until, well, as long as daylight savings has changed in your area. I think Australia changes this week, but we should all be on the same time zone from this week onwards, or not the same time zone, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever time it is this week or next week, it should be the same going forwards until October, when we all get messed up again. Hey, there you go. And John says it's a Jimi Hendrix Strat copy. Very cool, John. Yeah, the ST62 is a very cool guitar. I presume that's the one you've got, the white, in all white. Very cool guitar. Very cool guitar. Always wanted a guitar like Jeff Beck with a usable tremolo. Harley Benton needs to open a warehouse in the USA to cut the $75 shipping cost. Yeah, I don't think they're going to, but yeah, they're always trying to do something with shipping. Shipping costs have just gone through the roof. I know at one point they used to do a $30 shipping cost to the US, but I think you had to spend over $200. I could be wrong on that, but I know here we get free shipping over 200, and I've bought crazy things to get over that $200. So yeah, very cool stuff. Glad you're happy with it though. That's the main thing, John, right? John also says, I've always wanted a Les Paul, a Strat, and a Telecaster. I own one Epiphone Les Paul my mom got me for her 50th birthday. Very cool. I don't own a Tele yet, and now have an outstanding HB Strat. Well, as you can see how good the HB Strats are, don't rule out the HB Teles, as I've mentioned 1,000 times, particularly on the live streams. I have one and it's great. I'm going to be doing some work on it very soon, if I ever get around to it. But yeah, it's a very cool guitar. Like it's one that I've picked up probably more than almost any other guitar. That blind beat just doesn't get put down very often anymore. But Harley Benton, I think it's the T20. It's the cheapest version. It's very cool. So imagine how good the less cheap ones, more expensive ones are. I think they've got a new one that's 150 euros, and that's getting great reviews from everyone. So I want to check one of those out as well. But they're very cool guitars. Scott says, Dave, any Bonamassa Epiphone news? I hope he don't do another Les Paul this year. What I believe is happening with Joe Bonamassa this year is there will be a big announcement at the Summer NAMM show for his next signature model. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's what I'm hearing. Like it's starting to filter out now because it's only a couple of months away, that Summer NAMM show. So it's pretty much, we're getting some idea what's going to happen. Yeah, so Summer NAMM, there will be a Bonamassa announcement. No idea what it's going to be, but it'll probably be a Les Paul because it always is. So, yeah, I haven't seen him with, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, probably another Les Paul of some kind. Actually, I've heard very little news on what actual models are going to come out. And, other than their announcement yesterday of changing the names to like the Slash guitar for the SG and stuff. I think that's actually a hint. That's a foreshadowing that we are going to get a Slash SG at some point, which I've been saying since last year. So you can go back and watch my videos and see that I have been saying that for a while, that we get a Slash signature SG. Don't be surprised when it happens. Scott says, picked up a new microphone today, a Rode NT1A. What's your experience with mics? I also have a number of other mics, but this is the first large diaphragm condenser microphone I have. Scott, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know nothing about mics, nothing at all. I hardly know anything about guitars, but I know a little bit. My brother, though, he studied sound engineering in college, and he is a microphone nerd, or he was a microphone nerd. I know he knows a lot about microphones, so I could ask him about it, but he's not here. So, but yeah. What I will say is I am a big fan of everything that Rode do. I think they make some great equipment. So I hope that goes well for you. Let me see. Marcia says, John, my one problem with Strats is that I can't play the top four to five frets easily on a 25.5 inch. It'd be golden if some brands would make them in the 24.75 inch, but it's highly unlikely. It is, unfortunately. But hey, you never know. And if anyone knows a brand who does that, let Marcia know, because that's what she would want. You never know. You might have to go the made-to-measure route for that, though, or the custom shop, which might get expensive. There you go. Marcia was going to ask how people here feel about the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album that dropped yesterday. A lot of songs on that album. I like a lot of them. Some sound weird to me, and they'll probably grow on me with time. I haven't heard it like specifically. I haven't sat down and listened to it, but I've heard some tracks on it in the background and stuff. It sounds to me like they're trying to recapture old tunes, and some of it sounds very familiar. Do I like it, dislike it? I'm not sure. I'd probably have to see. I don't know how many songs are on it. It's called Unlimited Love or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's good to have John Frusciante back in the band. He's a great guitarist. I like him a lot, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know. I went through a big Chili Peppers phase, but it feels like that was 20 years ago. So I don't know if it's Chili Peppers time again. Who knows? But what I do know is that, yeah, it's good to have John Frusciante back in the Chili Peppers. I think that's how it should be. It wasn't the same with Dave Navarro. It wasn't the same with Josh, was it Cliff Hoffer? Is that his name? Klinghoffer? Yeah, I can see it there because you've written it. So, Unlimited Love. John Frusciante is back. Cliffhanger stepped aside. Supposedly no hard feelings because John wanted back in. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know about the the politics of the band, but yeah, I thought John was never going to play with them again. John Frusciante has some very good solo albums actually that came out a good few years ago now, but there's a couple he did. Like I think he did like one a month for 3 months, and a couple of them are really really good from a guitar point of view. So you should check those out. Check out his solo albums if you haven't already. Guys, just give a shout out there if you could hit that like button. That'd be super cool. Would always help and be appreciated. So we've got about 19 people on the stream right now, and 7 of you beautiful people have hit like. So if you could, that'd be super awesome. Thank you. Matt says, John, it's crazy the quality of Harley Benton guitars. Recently bought one of their acoustics and it is ridiculously good. That's cool, Matt. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Matt, by the way. Nice to see you again. I haven't had much experience with, or in fact, any experience with Harley Benton acoustics, but it's good that you've popped that in there, because I've looked at them at times and been like, oh, they look cool. So nice to know that you have had a good one. My experience with Harley Benton, I bought Harley Benton years and years ago, like it was 2013, and it was pure trash. Really really bad. Les Paul Gold Top copy, awful guitar, but it was like 120 euros, so I didn't really care. It was I don't know, I didn't weigh it, but it was very heavy. Like, it was the heaviest Les Paul probably I've ever played. And now my experience with them in the last 3-4 years is that they're just making great guitars again. So yeah, great, glad to know the acoustics are good. And I know I mentioned before I'm not a big acoustics fan, but I think it was Marsha was telling me I should get more into acoustics. So I've been trying, and I am looking at acoustics, and if I see a good deal for one, I might pick one up by the end of the year. You never know. I do have one, it's over there, I just never touch it. Kind of scared that it might fall apart now if I do touch it. It's been so long, but who knows. Hello, Anne. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us once again. And Todd Moore, always nice to see you, sir. One of the 3 Chord Dave OGs. We're very happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, and lots of people saying hi to everybody. Robert says it is 6:30 a.m. for him. Dedication or madness? Probably, but mostly madness. But thank you so much for joining us at 6:30 a.m. I didn't even know there was a 6:30 in the a.m. So there you go. Although I will soon, because my new job is starting. They gave me a choice. They were like, do you want to start at 7 a.m.? And I said yes. So in a week's time, I'll be starting at 7 a.m. So we expect to see a very tired 3 Chord Dave in videos from next week onwards. But it's all good. Because that means I get to finish work earlier, which means I'll have more time to work on videos. So always a fan of finishing work early in the day. Glenn Bailey says, hello all. If everyone could say hello to Glenn. Glenn sent me a lovely email this week. Thanks, Glenn. I will be responding to you probably tomorrow when I get some time. So thanks so much for that. I will be in touch, and just wanted to let you know I didn't ignore it. I just wanted to get back to it when I have time. And I absolutely will do that. Marsh says, the late night host switch last night was pretty epic. I have no idea what you're talking about. Was that Jimmy What's-His-Face and the other Jimmy What's-His-Face? They switched, I guess. Yeah. The April Fool's. The best one I saw was Marshall's. Anyone see Marshall's one? Oh, that was pretty cool. April Fool's joke I pulled was telling my friends that Joe Bonamassa is giving all his guitars away to anyone who wants one. Oh, John. I'm sure some people were excited. I would have been. I'm like, damn it. That was a great April Fool's prank between 2 different TV networks. That must have been tough. I wonder if Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel did better on a different network. Very interesting. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I mean, like, see those guys on YouTube and stuff. So I don't know. I don't even know what networks one or the other is on. But there you go. I like what they both do a good job interviewing people. Making some progress in interviews, by the way. Hopefully by the end of the month. Celebrate my birthday at the end of the month, by the way. So hoping hoping very much that at the end of the month I'll have an interview to share with you with someone very, very cool. So fingers crossed on that one, guys. Let's send out some positive vibes to the people who may want to be interviewed on the channel. Going big for this one, or trying to go big for this one. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Scott is saying maybe one of the easiest guitars I have to play. So that's your new Jackson. Very cool. Listen, I know you waited a long time for that, so it's cool that you're enjoying it, and I'm very happy you got it. So good stuff. Although don't let it replace that SG that you won on probably the best guitar YouTube channel on YouTube. Just to give myself a pat on the back there. But yeah, let us know. Make sure, keep us up to date with that as well. Very cool stuff. Ryan Byrne, nice to see you, Ryan. Thanks for joining us once again. He says, I have a Mexican Strat, but I never play it because I hate the switch position. I hit it occasionally and I'd like to change it to a low profile slider or relocate it. That's an interesting one. I don't know why. There's something about Strats that don't pull me towards them quite a lot. But when I do pick up that Harley Benton Strat I have, I do enjoy it. But I tend to leave it in its case. It's just, I don't know, the whole Strat thing I was just never into. I don't know, maybe it's because I just feel like I'm cheating on the SG. Who knows? Matt says, agreed. We are in the golden age of 100 to 200 pound guitars. Harley Benton, Kramer, Jet, etc. So many options. Absolutely, it is definitely the best it's ever been, and hopefully that'll just continue. I will say there's people out there who go overboard and say, Harley Bentons can compete with $3,000 Fenders or Gibsons. They can't. That's not true. But they can definitely be very playable guitars. I know I have seen lots of people gigging with Harley Bentons, like videos of them live and online and stuff like that. I've seen some very, very nice Harley Bentons. And what people do is when they do upgrades and mods and stuff, they're great platforms for that. So I think they're just making some great stuff. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. John says the fact that sellers like Casino makes videos condemning Harley Benton shows they're defending their owners. Yeah, it's like I was saying last week, John, it's more to do really with, I believe, and I could be wrong. And if the Casino guys are around or they ever see this video, I love Casino guitars. I'm a big fan of their YouTube channel, and I'm not having a go at them, but they're a store that sells certain brands. They can't be seen promoting brands that they can't sell, and also it does their business no good. So I can understand where they're coming from in that point of view, but listen, the truth is, like, at the same time, having said all the positive stuff about Harley Bentons, there are people who've opened their boxes and had crap guitars or guitars with big problems, and at that price point you're not going to rule out from happening at all. So it's all just taste as well. Some people just don't like Harley Bentons. They don't like them because of where they're made or how they're made or the fact that they're cheap. Some people, we got to admit it, are just guitar snobs. So that's a very real thing. And I've been guilty of being that myself at times, so but the thing is, these guys, they're not just a guitar channel, they're a guitar store, and they've got to look after their own relationships with manufacturers and stuff as well. I think that's a little bit what that was about. But hey, there you go. Andrew Collins, nice to see you, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to get my Prs Silver Sky SE. Very cool. Yeah, if that's what you're into, enjoy it, because it's not something, at least not in the colors that they have out at the moment, that I'm rushing to the store to pick up. But I can see, like, they're very popular for a reason. And there was another good, who did I see post something yesterday for an April Fool's joke? The Telecaster one, the Telecaster PRS. I can't remember what they called it, but it was John Mayer signature with a Telecaster. It was very funny. So good stuff there, Andrew. Hope you do enjoy that. Let us know when you get it, because it's a cool thing to celebrate. John says, I have a butterscotch Roy Buchanan style telly. Very cool. Butterscotch tellies are great, and yeah, I like them very much. Hi, David Ruiz. You are here, and we enjoy seeing you here. So thanks so much for joining us. Let me see. Ryan Burns says, one of the nicest cheap guitars I've tried in a while is a Squier Contemporary Telly, $400, and it feels perfect to me. It is a great guitar. Ryan. Yeah, it's one of the best Telecasters I have played in a long time. But I'm going to tell you something quite shocking about my gold one. I'm going to sell it, and the only reason I'm going to sell it is because I don't play it, and the reason I don't play it is because I just bought a very big guitar purchase. Yeah, the Flying V I bought recently, and I'm working on that, and I've got some work to do on that. I need to buy some stuff for it, and I've got my eye on a couple of other things. So if you guys are interested in Squire Contemporary Telecaster in Shoreline Gold, check out my Reverb page, which is always linked on the videos. It's going up tomorrow, I believe, so it's not up there yet, but I'll be popping that up, and I believe I'm going to put a price on it of whatever I paid for it, about 350 euros, I think is what I paid for it. So that's what it'll be listed for. So yeah, Ryan's right though. It is a great guitar, and straight out of the box just feels phenomenal. Roasted maple neck, and I'm also putting another guitar up for tomorrow for sale. So two of them are going up. You can check that out on my Reverb page tomorrow, around noon Irish time. So you guys across the Atlantic, by the time you wake up tomorrow, you can check out my Reverb page, see what guitars I'm selling. Just a couple. It's time to raise money for other stuff, but that is a great guitar. I'm glad I got to play it and spend some time with it. But it's just not a permanent one for me, unfortunately. I thought it was, but it's got to go to make room for something else. Anyway, rolling on. John says I may have to run out for lunch. If so, we'll be back soon. Cool, John. Enjoy your lunch. Have a good time. Marcia says, is it me, or has they been reading comments out of order the past couple of weeks? I'm only reading them in the order that I see them, Marcia. So it could be that you see them at a slightly different order. Because as I said, I think I said last week, I don't read them on YouTube. I read them on another program that's running the live stream. So it's possible that there are other comments, or sometimes I do skip a comment, like if there's people saying hello to each other and stuff like that, and it might mean that the next one is out of order compared to the one that I've skipped over or whatever. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. Ryan also says, John, that's a cool guitar. I just bought a 75th anniversary Tele USA last week. Very cool. Very cool. And Martian's saying there is 17 tracks on Unlimited Love. That is a lot of tracks for an album. But hey, cool. I'll check it out at some point. I presume, from what I've heard, they seem to be quite short tracks on it. So, well, listen. Good albums are good albums. So I said I haven't listened to it, but it's always fun listening to a new Chili Peppers album. HB makes a Strat-shaped Fusion guitar. The new one came out yesterday, I think. You might want to check out the Harley Benton Fusion 24.5-inch scales. Interesting. Yeah, didn't even know that myself about the Harley Benton Fusions. But those are cool guitars, all right. Yeah, the Fusion lineup. They seem very kind of hair metal to me. I don't know. I haven't really looked into them too much. Lots of people joining the stream. Thank you so much, guys. It does mean a lot to me, as I've said, every Saturday, joining up with you guys and having some fun. But there might be some changes to the channel very soon. We'll talk about that later on. Because, birthdays, things are changing, time, new decades starting, all that sort of crack. So we'll see what happens. Chris from Coburg is here, and he says hello. So hi, Chris. Glad to have you here. By the way, guys, lots of you have, you're on YouTube, and I have seen you guys on other guitar-related channels, and that's cool. And I'm glad to see you guys there. What I will say is just make sure when you're on other channels that you're, saying hello to each other. Being part of a community means, hanging out together and having fun. I don't often jump into the chats on live streams, but I've seen a few of you the last few weeks. Just acknowledge each other, because that's the Chord Dave way to do things, despite not doing it myself. But definitely worth keeping an eye out for each other, because we're all over the place. I saw some of you guys on Phil McKnight's live stream a couple of nights ago. Where else did I see you? Playing Trade Guitars, you were there as well. And where else? I saw some of you guys on 60 Cycle Hum as well yesterday. So yeah, you were Chord Dave communities everywhere. So if you do see another Chord Dave community member, make sure to say hello and gang up on everyone else and tell them to come to this channel, because because those channels have way more subscribers than we do here. And it all helps the channel, for sure. Lorraine says, hi Dave, got your t-shirt today. Very cool. Thanks for supporting the channel. That means a lot. Thank you so much. And yeah, hope you're enjoying the t-shirt. 3-Chord Dave t-shirt is, of course, what she's talking about. And if you haven't picked up the special edition Freebird, you've only got till the 26th of April, which is 3 weeks away, just over 3 weeks away, to pick up this Freebird 3-Chord Dave t-shirt. Links are in the description of every video. If you don't want that one, you can pick up something like this. Many different colors are available. There's the blue one. There's the black one, which is my preference. They're also available in white, red, yellow, pink, and I think there's a purple one, or the purple one's a limited edition coming next month. It's one of those things. So yeah, link in the description. I think it was Al last week said that he couldn't buy one because he was asked to subscribe to 3-Chord Dave, and I couldn't figure that out. I even got onto Teespring and asked them what's going on. They said they didn't know why that would happen. So if you go to the link and you try and it asks you to subscribe, you should just be able to cancel and still continue to buy the t-shirt, because it's not connected to the YouTube channel. It's just a completely different site. But anyway, guys, that's all that information for you. And thanks so much for picking up a t-shirt there. That's very cool. Ryan Burns says, I'm not a huge acoustic guy either. I have an old Yamaha I got as a gift and I rarely play it. But today I tried some Taylor 3/4 sizes and they were a lot easier to use and sound great. Yeah, very cool, Ryan. I'm very interested in the PRS parlor guitars, actually. I know they're a bit smaller, a little bit easier to move around, and might be good for the old office space here as well. So, but the Taylor 3/4, very cool looking guitars. So yeah, very cool. Glad you're checking that out. It's very interesting, you know, different guitars can feel a million miles different to another one. So anyway, glad you're checking out other stuff there. Marcia says, it's true, lots of amazing rock has been played on acoustics. Very true. I've also learned to play my acoustic in a way that sounds gritty like an electric. I think Dave would get into it if he had one. Well, I do have one, but just never pick it up. But yeah, no, I'd probably, as I said, I probably will look to pick up an acoustic towards the end of the year. Looking more into stuff. I like a lot of acoustic music. I'm a very big fan of like unplugged sessions and stuff like that. And Andrew says, what are your thoughts on the PRS Silver Sky SE? I like that. I was championing it for a long time, and I think one of my predictions for this year was that we would get a PRS SE Silver Sky. So glad that came about. People were asking for it for so long. Was it 3 years, 4 years? So it was about time they did it, but yeah, I just the colors don't inspire me at all to want to pick one up. But that's because they got to make a nice blue one, and they don't have a nice blue one. So they do something like that. They need to do like a Nebula. If they did a Nebula type of finish, which I know they never will in an SE, but the other SEs that they do, like my Custom 22, is probably the most beautiful guitar in my collection, or possibly ever will be in my collection. So I think the SEs have some beautiful finishes. They bring some great finishes to the SE Silver Sky. I'll probably pick one up, but not inspired by them yet. John Saylor, hello John, nice to see you. He says, I picked up a Gibson 2013 Tribute Gold Top with P90s, just $550 just a few years ago, and it was in mint condition. I ordered one of the new Positive Grid Spark amps. Can't wait to see how it sounds. Yeah, a lot of people like them. I haven't had hands-on experience with them, but they seem pretty interesting. Is it the new mini ones that they brought out that you picked up, John? It's an interesting one, battery powered and everything. So nice for traveling if you're going somewhere, or bringing it to the office or wherever the case may be. Yeah, Tribute Gold Top P90s from 2013. You can pick those up pretty cheap. You can't get them for $550 now. I believe you'd be still paying north of $800 anyway for them. But cool guitar, yeah, P90s, very awesome indeed. And yes, the information there from Lorraine, big birthday number coming up very soon. Yes, 40 on the 25th of April. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Getting old, or as I like to say, getting vintage. It's all part of life, I suppose. But there you go, good stuff. Ryan says, I picked up a 2016 Studio T Gold Top, also for $550, like new condition. It's a great guitar. Studio T's are great as well. 2016 gold top Les Paul. Can't beat it. Excellent. Glad to hear you guys are picking up some bargains there, actually, to be honest. 550. Marcia says, I've also heard of people attaching pedals meant for electric guitars to acoustics. Yeah, it's pretty funny when people do that. It's pretty funny at Cool. Dave totally needs an acoustic. Open his horizon. All right. Dave has an acoustic. Dave already has an acoustic. It's over there. Doesn't touch it. My horizons are fine. Thanks. Benny Larson, hello. How are you? Nice to see you. Couldn't be with you last week. It's okay, Benny. We missed you, but it's good to have you back. I hope you're doing well. Doing well myself. Thanks very much for asking. Let's have a look. The SG gets used a lot. Very good, Scott. Glad it does. Somehow put a white mark on the back edge of the headstock. Looks suspiciously like ceiling paint. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Yeah, white marks sounds a bit suspect, but glad you're playing it a lot. Very cool. Hopefully the person who wins the next giveaway will also play it a lot. That'll be a cool thing. And as I said last week, guys, 15,000 is the subscriber count we're trying to get to before we have another giveaway. So if you have not subscribed to the channel and you're watching this live stream, you need to subscribe so that you can comment. So make sure you do that. Hang around for 60 seconds and you'll be able to comment on the live stream. You can also then, look forward to that 15,000 subscriber giveaway. Something very cool will be given away, hopefully on the channel. And hopefully we'll be doing it, at some point over the summer. So fingers crossed. So yeah, make sure you let everyone know. And that's why I said, like, when you're in other groups, just mention the channel. Say, hey, I checked out a 3-Chord Dave video and about this topic. If they're talking about something relevant that I've done a video about, that'd be super cool. Really appreciate that, guys. And, likes and comments and all that helps the channel as well. So thanks very much for that. And watching videos from start to finish. That's huge for YouTube for some reason. But yeah, thanks so much for all your support, by the way. Having 27 people here and 22 likes, that's a huge ratio. So thanks a million. We're done. Yusuf Kasim, thanks very much for joining us, Yusuf. Your favorite Rory Gallagher song? Favorite song by Rory Gallagher? Mine would be Bourbon, I think. Yeah, I just love that song. If I was to do a top 3, it'd be Bourbon. Let me see. Shouldn't have said I'll do a top 3. Calling Card is one that I really like, and Bad Penny probably. Although now that I think about it, Shin Kicker as well. So there's love a lot of Rory Gallagher, but if you gave me one choice, it would be Bourbon. It's also my choice in whiskey. There you go. Matt says, in terms of Harley Benton acoustics, I was skeptical, but my friend bought one, and having played it, I had no worries buying one. Picked up a CLA 15M, a solid wood with a gig bag for £230, recommended. Very cool. I'll have to check out that model. I think I have checked that out before, but yeah, if it's the one I think it is, that's a very cool guitar. Matt, so yeah, I'll check that out again, and thanks for your recommendation, because as I said, probably towards the end of the year we'll be looking to pick up an acoustic again. Might buy myself a birthday present again, who knows. Let's see. Muddy HO says, to be fair, I opened a $10,000 Carina V. That was also crap. See what you did there? You bought a Gibson. They're never going to work with me. That's why none of you would have believed my April Fool's I have a job at Gibson video. And I was so close to posting. I was like, nobody's ever going to buy this for even a second. But yeah, Muddy, that was yours was not good. So yeah, and just in case you don't know, Muddy H Show did post pictures of the Flying V, the Carina V that he purchased, I believe in our Facebook group, and we saw the quality control, or the lack of quality control on it there. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, which lots of people are not, you should pop along and just check it out, because you get to see some cool guitars from Scott. You get to see some interesting stuff from Muddy as well. By the way, Muddy H2O is still the greatest name on YouTube. So thanks for joining us, Muddy. Good to see you as always. Our family, who is Butch. Nice to see you, Butch. Thanks for joining us. And where are all the thumbs up? Lots of thumbs up. Butch, yeah, we've got more thumbs up than people watching, so happy with that. But thanks for joining us. And what's up, Big Daddy Dave? I mean, that's a new one, but thanks, Butch. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. It's all good. I'll have a Smithix later tonight and I'll see how it sounds together. Good stuff, John. Thanks so much. Andrew says, Squires make great guitars. Squire do make great guitars. They also make less great guitars, but but they do have some very, very cool ones. I'm a big fan of that Squire Contemporary Telecaster. It's just not the right fit for me at the moment. And as I said, there are other guitars on the wish list that I want to pick up. So that's where that one and the other one I'm going to list tomorrow are going for sale on the Reverb page. So do check those out if you want a 3-chord Dave guitar. 3-chord Dave owned guitar, let me know tomorrow. And if any of you do want to buy one of my guitars, by the way, and you're watching the stream, let me know before you make a purchase. I'll do something for you. I'll knock a few bucks off. But thanks so much for doing that. And Money H2O with a super chat, sir. The super chats, you're too kind, and genuinely do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Looks like Apple finally got around to turning off your heat. They did. They turned off my heat. No, they what my heating system has broken, but the guy can't come out to fix it till tomorrow. So yeah, it is quite chilly at the moment, but it's fine because that just means cold beer, and I have this hoodie, so it's all working. So, but thanks for noticing. But yeah, oh Apple, finally all ties with Apple are gone since early this week. Everything is concluded and my business is completely departed from them. So yeah, turned off the heat. Good one. And Butch says, have to use the account that belongs to my wife. They got me in jail again. They love my views about innocent people having to pay the ultimate price just by being bystanders in this war. Yeah, they don't like politics at all, or personal views or comments on anything. Quite a few people put off YouTube to come to YouTube. A lot of people I know are just not using it anymore, or trying not to use it. Ryan says, I hear you on selling guitars. I made 2 big purchases this week, the 75th Telly and an LP standard Lemon Burst tax refund counting minutes. Yeah, tax refunds tend to disappear quite quickly as well. Although revenue here in Ireland decided this year that I wasn't getting a tax refund. So, yeah. Bastards. It's all good because next year they'll probably do the same. Anyway, we won't tell them about all the nefarious ways I make income. Good deals are still available here in the States if you look around. Good deals are available. Yeah, absolutely. It's becoming, I think the market is, I think Phil McKnight actually mentioned this, the market's becoming a bit softer than it was last year. People are starting to, reduce their prices a little bit. And I think people who are like scalping guitars are starting to get burned a little bit, because a lot of people bought those Slash guitars with the 4 on them to make huge returns, and they're not selling for the prices, for like the double price or triple price that they thought they would. And also the Tulips or the Theodores are not selling for the crazy prices either. So yeah, good to see the scalpers get burned a little bit. But yeah, there are good deals to be had out there on secondhand guitars. Places like Reverb fees are going up very soon. I think eBay fees are due to go up as well. So the likes of Facebook Marketplace is still your best friend for picking up deals. People who decided to learn guitar during pandemics that were happening, and then they decided, this is difficult. The F chord, what the F, and gave up. So those people are like, they keep stuff for a while and then they clear them out. And it's the time of year when people start clearing out things. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on stuff. Definitely good deals to be had all over the place. Especially on my Reverb page from tomorrow, because I gotta get rid of these things. Scott, John says, hi Scott, I'd like to have a few different sounding guitars with different pickups for blues and rock sounds. Yeah, it's pretty much all my guitars, well, not all of them, but a lot of them have different pickups. I think that's the appeal of having more than one or 2 or 3, or you're just having way too many. But hey, there's no such thing as too many when it comes to guitars, right? I know you'll all support that. Guitar Fetish has a 24.75 inch scale Carbonita Telly from their Slick Guitars brand. Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's Guitar Fetish is one I actually always forget about, but there's a very cool store. All right. Um, and Robert Gallagher says, "Hi, hi, Robert. Good to see you. Thanks for having us, or thanks for joining us, I should say." Matt says another friend picked up a Harley Benton Fusion used on Facebook for £175. Not the shred monster I assumed. Neck is quite chunky, stainless frets and roasted maple. At that, pound is a value. Great used by. Can't complain about them, to be quite honest. Can't complain about them. Scott says was going to get a Gretsch Jim Dandy Parlor acoustic. Never did. Damn you, Dave. Now I want one again. Sorry, Scott. You know, it's my job to influence people here on YouTube. That's what somebody called us, YouTube channels, influencers. I don't think I'm quite at influencer level, but yeah, I'm glad you should get all the guitars. That's what I'm trying to do. Chris says, okay, I want a new guitar. I own all Fenders. Well, if you own all Fenders, the next logical step is to get all the others. So, you know, I'd start with Gretsch, work your way from there. They're pretty cool. Ryan says, I tried that today too. Pretty cool, but a little too buzzy for me. Interesting. That's for the Jim Dandy. The Jim Dandies are pretty cool looking guitar, I have to say. Always forget about it, and then when I see it, when I'm flicking through sites, I'm like, "Ooh, that looks cool." Chris says, "Firebird or 335?" Ah, Chris, that's a doozy of a question. As one of my new work colleagues said to me the other day, it's a doozy. Firebirds are awesome. Never had one. 335s are awesome though. I mean, in cherry, can't go wrong with a 335. Now it just reminded me I want to buy a 335 as well. That's another thing on the list. Well, there you go. I'd probably go to 335, but Firebirds are awesome. So you got a good deal on a Firebird. Actually, there's a Firebird on my wish list that I think sold recently. That looked awesome. It was a Joe Bonamassa signature one. Those are pretty cool, and it can actually be picked up pretty cheap as well. So, like less than 1,000, I think it was. Anyway, my answer is either of those will be awesome. So I'm not helpful at all. Sorry. Matt says Gibson P90s are the business. Just picked up a Les Paul tribute, special tribute. Loving the raw P90 tone. So much fun. Yeah, P90s are great. Honestly, if you said I could only have one guitar, it would have P90s, whatever it was. Yeah, I love P90s. Glenn says every color SE came into Sweetwater except the one I pre-ordered. Still waiting for my first PRS. My Eddie Van Halen pop came in this week, so all is good. Excellent. Yeah, Eddie Pop's finally reaching out to people. That sucks about the PRS, the SE Silver Sky, I presume, not coming in. But yeah, they'll get it soon. They're probably just making sure it's done right. You would hope, but yeah, hopefully they'll get that to you soon. I do like PRS; they're very, very cool. Andrew Collins says your thoughts on the Boss GX100. Never used one, no experience with it, so can't really give you any thoughts on it. But looks cool. Seems to do a lot of cool stuff. If any of you guys in the chat here have any thoughts on the Boss GX100, let Andrew know there, because yeah, because he's asking the question. That's what we do as a group. We help each other out. Glenn says, Chris, Firebird for my vote. So there you go. No one has mentioned it yet. Will Smith slapped the like button. Yeah. It's Will Smith slapping the like button. We're all sick of the Will Smith stuff. Who cares? That was my opinion when I saw it first. I was like, who cares? Anyway, Scott says I was instantly drawn to Bad Penny. It's just a great tune, that one, isn't it? It's just one of the best songs, I think. Yeah, probably ever. I do enjoy it. I think it's just a great song. I do enjoy the guitar wishlist vids anytime I can learn about guitars, no matter what I tend to like. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, that's cool. Honestly, at this point, it's pretty much me just like having fun making videos about guitars that I think are interesting. A little behind the scenes secret, I probably wouldn't buy 80% of the guitars on the list if I was given the option, but I like them enough to put them on a wish list. And that's and that, you know, because I like yourself, it's about learning about guitars and just talking about there's something different other than, I know Scott has said this a couple of times on comments, but like it's not, you know, they're just not all Les Pauls and SGs and Tellys and Strats. There's other guitars. Now there'll be more Les Pauls and SGs and Strats and Tellys and all sorts throughout that series. But as well, it just gives me something to do on a Monday evening. I can just, you know, wrap up work, take out that book right there. It's over there somewhere. Yeah, it's over there. And flick through it and find some cool guitars. There's some in it that are just mental, but and I would never, I wouldn't talk about it. And then they've got things like Jimi Hendrix's guitar or Paul Reed Smith's #1 guitar and like stuff that you could never pick up a copy of, whatever. But there's stuff that's not in it that should be. Like other brands, they're like Harley Benton's, for example, or Court guitars. You know, they made some cool ones. Or there's very few in terms of the lawsuit era guitars. I think there's maybe a couple, but that's about it. But yeah, Guitar Wishlist, a lot of fun. If there's anyone here who hasn't watched Guitar Wishlist, please do. It's a series I run every Monday. There's about 12 or 13 of them now. Different guitars that you know, as I said, I wouldn't buy them all, but I think they're pretty cool and interesting, and that's why they're on Guitar Wishlist. So check it out sometime if you haven't. It's probably the least watched thing I do on YouTube. Like there's one, I did a Foo Fighters video about a year and a half ago, and it's still got like 16 views. And that was when I decided I won't make music videos, like music videos about music anymore, about bands or anything, because that video did terribly. But yeah, the Guitar Wish is like hardly anybody. Like I think even last week's one barely hit 100 views. So yeah, it doesn't do particularly well, but they're fun. So check them out if you haven't already. That'd be cool. Benny also wants a Firebird himself someday. Rumors of a Harley Benton Firebird have been flying around for about a year, and I think we're going to see it in the next month or so. Well, that's just speculation. I have no insight with Harley Benton. They don't usually tell me anything, and when they do, it's already public. So yeah, but the rumors it's coming. So very cool stuff there. And Glenn Bailey says, last night Phil commented that Gibson should be sold in casinos. Put it all on hope it plays. Put it all on hope it plays well, and no paint chips, let it roll. And if you get a good one, stop and run with it. Don't risk losing it. Yeah, it's true. You got a good one, you hit the jackpot right there. That's a very good point. And a super chat, thank you so much, from Lorraine, who didn't say anything, but who put in a super chat of €19.99. Very cool. Thank you so much. And picked up a t-shirt supporting the channel. Appreciate it so much. Thank you. That is cool. Thanks, Lorraine, for your support. Ryan says, yeah, good thing Canada aren't too thorough when checking sources of income either. Oh, that's not, I probably said too much. Don't check sources of income, guys. If there's anyone from your revenue, that was a joke. This is a comedy channel. Don't pay attention to anything. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Moving on. So that was right. Todd Moore says, Geek Lord is trying to sell that one-of-a-kind 50th anniversary Ibanez Iceman for $100,000 plus insurance and shipping. Wow. Just wow, that guy. I had an Ibanez dealer assure me it cost 10,000-ish. Wow. Icemans. I don't know. People are splitting them. Do you like Icemans? I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, 100,000 for... And he definitely got the one-off 50th anniversary one, was it? Or I suppose he has it for sale now, so obviously he does. Wow. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen a video. Has he done a video with it, Todd? I haven't seen it. But yeah, let me know. Love my slick telly. Great deal. Excellent. Let me see. Reverb isn't possible to find a deal. One time I found a guy selling a Blackstar head or cab near me for a decent price. But other than that, everyone seems to think their Epiphone standard is rare. Man, that is like my one pet peeve with the guitar secondary market is everyone lists super rare. No, dude, your guitar is not super rare. And the ones that are super rare are like ultra rare. Extra $1,000 because I said the word ultra. Yeah, I don't know. People must think that when they're selling to guitar players, that guitar player who's looking at that ad will not know anything about guitars, and just be like, "Oh, I'll take your word for it." Awesome. And the thing to do there is just do your research, know what you're buying, and if somebody has rare or super rare, and it drives me crazy they do that, but they do. It's never going to change. Make them an offer. Tell them you know what you're talking about. Don't be like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. Here's the offer. But be like, hey, these are, blah, blah. Not super rare, but I like it. I'll give you X amount for it. If they take it, great. If they don't, screw them. Someone will sell it for a decent price eventually. But you're right. Reverb can be difficult to find. People trying to sell stuff at good prices. You got to make up those fees. Those reverb fees bite into your take essentially at the end of the day as well. And Ryan also says, I thought those went for 18 to 20k, the 50th anniversary, what do you call them? Icemans. So yeah, that was my thought as well. 10, 80, like around 20, I would have thought. Scott says, what do you think of that little Epi, the El Nino? There's a little Texan too. For the acoustics. Yeah, I think Epiphone acoustics are pretty cool. So I would pick one. I definitely will be checking those out when I'm doing my acoustic shopping. I will check one of them out at some point. But El Nino actually doesn't, or El Nino, however it's pronounced, it doesn't ring a bell. But I know I've seen the little Texan, and they look cool. But I'll have to check them out. And they know Scott. So I'll try to do so on Facebook. Todd says, I thought so too until I spoke to a dealer who said, nope, they were in the 10k range. I mean, that seems, if they're one of a kind Icemans for Icemen, for 10k, that seems like actually pretty good. Surprised they're going for, what do you call it? Or they're on secondary for 100,000, but there you go. That's I'm not even going to comment on it because, that's what happens. No custom 24 in charcoal burst. Oh, Glenn, for the PRS. Oh, very cool. So not a Silver Sky at all. Very cool. Silver custom 24s, excellent guitars. Charcoal burst, very nice color. So yeah, hopefully it'll be soon. But once you get it, you'll be happy because they make excellent guitars. And what I like about PRS is they do have them checked before they're sent out to you. So you should receive it in excellent condition. They go through a basic setup before they're sent out, so that's cool. Ryan says to Todd, well, good luck to him then. I don't think I've ever managed to sell a guitar for more than I've paid. And Todd agrees. Me too. Yeah, it's tricky. It very rarely happens. I have once sold a guitar for profit, and it was years later. And it wasn't that it was rare, it was just there was none of them on the market, so I was able to list it at a price that was good for both of us, I would say, because I still listed under market price at the time. So secondhand guitars do fluctuate, they go up and down, but yeah, it's very difficult to make a profit on guitars. And at 10 times profit, at 10x is you gotta have some balls to sell something for 10x, don't you? Especially so soon after you've got it. But hey, good luck to him. Good luck to him. Ryan says, ever try a Bernie LP? Yeah, there's a store in Bray has a few, and a friend of mine picked one up. Could have been a good while ago. And yeah, played around with it for about 5 minutes. If you covered the headstock, you would think, like the name on the headstock, you would think it was maybe you would think it was a high-end Epiphone, like made in Korea Epiphone Les Paul custom, the one I played anyway or checked out. yeah, very cool stuff. There's a lot of people are huge fans of them. Would like to check them out a little bit more for sure. Matt says, not that we need to justify more guitars, but if you only need one acoustic, you need another strung Nashville style 10 to 26 instant 12 string vibes. I mean, yeah, no need to justify more guitars. The thing is, I am kind of running out of space where I am because the office is taking up way more space than it should. And the guitars I have over there all organized and everything now, and I have guitars in the bedroom taking up all the space, and they're going to start invading the living room next, and that's not a good place to keep my guitars because they're accessible to people who I don't want having access to them then, and so on. So, you know, it's a tricky one, but you're right. Yeah, instant 12 string vibes would be cool, would be very cool. Scott says, I really like the wishlist videos. Cool, thanks for that, Scott. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, as I've said like before, I do check out the comments on the wishlist videos in particular. Todd Moore never likes my wishlist guitar picks. I'm just going to call that out right there, Todd. But I'm working on one that you're going to like, I promise. I have a couple coming up in the next couple of weeks, and they're specifically aimed at Todd Moore liking them. So I'm working for you, Todd. I promise you're going to like next week's one. Monday's one this week, you're going to like it, I promise. And if you don't, the one after that, you'll like that one for sure. I'm going to make sure you like it one of these days. Benny says, the other day I noticed several prices on Reverb coming down. I think the used market is starting to correct itself. Yeah, it definitely is. So it's... yeah, it's starting to come down. It's not there yet, but it's definitely starting to level out a little bit. Dave Lewis says, I don't trust any Irish person that doesn't drink their beer. Yeah, that's a very good point. Dave, thanks so much. Talking too much, that's our other pastime. I'm trying to get through these comments because I never get through them all. So hopefully I will tonight. But thanks for pointing that out. I always forget the beers there. Let's have a look. Dave, you made my heart happy with your guitar wish list on the Epiphone scroll. Never seen much about them and missed the one I owned. Well, there you go, Todd. You see, I made you happy on it already. So, all right. You're not going to like the one on Monday then. Just kidding. You're absolutely going to like this one that's coming up. I'm struggling to actually find decent pictures of it, and that's why it might be the following week. But I have one that I want to put on it that I actually think is very cool, and actually I think it's being reissued this year. I'm not 100% if I can say that because I haven't been given information, but I think I've been teased that it's going to happen. So we'll see. But as with anything, I mean, I was told Gibson had a big, huge early year release plan going, and it never happened. So I don't really trust anyone who tells me anything anymore. Guitar related anyway. Glenn Bailey says, if Harley Benton releases a Firebird, I would be interested in seeing one in white. You probably will see that, I think. I think they'll do just a standard range of colors in it. It's been rumored for a long time. So, and I know they've been asked about it, and they're like, it's coming soon, and we'll see. I had been told at the start of the year that Harley Benton were going to do some really cool stuff. So far, I agree. I think they've done some pretty cool stuff so far. When did the Goto Les Pauls single cuts and double cuts come out? Were those last year? Yeah, no, they look pretty cool anyway. I must check one of those out, to be honest. But yeah, Firebird style will be cool. I've noticed that too, listening in that have been up in the last years. Yeah, that's it. Again, talking about reverb. Let's see. Lorraine says, gotta run do my own show. Left something there for a point for your birthday. Hopefully we can all chip in for the big man. Well, thanks, Lorraine. Appreciate it. That'll certainly buy a point for sure. And as Dave Lewis mentioned, maybe I'll even get to drink it and enjoy your show. Have a good one. John says, Dave, have a good day and see you next time for a point or two. Yeah, absolutely, John. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And thanks for popping into the chat with us. Super cool. Grandpa Joe, good evening, Dave. And all here. Better late than never. Absolutely. absolutely. There's no such thing as late around here. It's just join in when you can. And thanks, Grandpa Joe, for being here. Good to see you, as always. I've missed a few, however, glad to be back. We're glad to have you back, Joe. Always nice to see you. Hope you're enjoying yourself this evening. Let's see. I've liked, Todd Moore says, I've liked the Iceman since seeing Paul Stanley play one with the cracked mirror top live on the Dynasty tour. Is it Dynasty or Dynasty tour in 1979? He still has it too. Didn't they do a reissue of that recently? His Paul Stanley's cracked mirror. That's a pretty cool looking guitar, I have to say. I mean, it's very Kiss, but there's nothing wrong with that. Very cool. Glenn says, can people stop listing Epiphone as Gibson, mainly because that is giving Epi a bad name? Oh yeah, you see the Gibson Epiphone Les Paul. No, it's an Epiphone. Just own it. There's nothing wrong with Epiphone. I do. That drives me a little bit crazy as well. I wish people would just be like, it's an Epiphone, and that's totally fine. Speaking of Epiphones, I hope this is the right picture. If you saw my video on Tuesday, and you've obviously been on the interwebs, you will have seen that the Adam Jones Les Paul Standard is out now. It's $3,000. And everybody's asking, when's the Epiphone coming out? And if you didn't stay till the end of that video, I gave you the rough timeline of when it's going to happen. So it's been almost 18 months since the custom shop. We have this now. Don't expect to see them at Summer NAMM, although they could put them out then, who knows. But I think sometime around September, October is when we're going to see the Epiphone Adam Jones. Les Paul's make an appearance, and they'll be like this. They won't be custom shop styles. They won't be Les Paul customs. They'll be standards like this, from what I hear. But they will come with an Epiphone antique silverburst case is what I'm hearing as well. So if you're after an Adam Jones guitar and you don't want to spend $3,000, you just have to wait till September or October, around that time. Now, I can't confirm 100% that it's coming in that, definitely in September, October. That's guesswork, but they're ready to come out at that time. So if they don't come out then, they'll hold them back till January. That's kind of what I've been led to believe, but also just working it out from timelines of, and how I've worked it out is the timelines on the Slash guitars to the Slash Epiphones, and it works out about 18 months between them. It's 18 months or so since the custom shops to this one. Give it another 6 months and they should be ready, because anyone who has wanted an Adam Jones guitar with a Gibson on the headstock will have bought one at that point, because they're not limited. They're making as many as people want to buy. So anyway, that's just a little bit of news for you on that one. Again, I'm always going to give that news, the more news on the live streams on Chord Dave Live on a Saturday. So if you don't see, or if you think I'm holding back information on the videos, it's usually because I want to give it to you guys who come to the live streams, because you guys make my Saturdays. So thanks so much for that. Anyway, that's the Adam Jones, and let me know what you think of that guitar as well. They're all right. They're nothing special for me, but again, I was never a big Adam Jones fan. So these, like Silverburst and an antique Silverburst, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't really like it. But anyway, getting back off track there, because Glenn said people could stop listing Epiphones as Gibsons, and I agree 100%. Especially when you see them, you know, they did a run of Epiphones and they had Gibson on the truss rod cover, and then you see Gibson Epiphone or Epiphone Gibson. Actually, usually it's Gibson Epiphone, isn't it? Yeah, I hate seeing that. It drives me mad. Especially when you search for Gibson and you get Epiphones coming up because of that. Nothing wrong with Epiphones, but if you're searching for Gibson, it's like, why? Why would you do it? So anyway, yeah, it's a whole thing. I completely agree with you there. Todd says, Mom and all 4 of my wives have told me I should play acoustic guitar, but honestly, I find it doesn't inspire me like the electric does. I find the same, Todd. My 16 wives are also telling me that I shouldn't play guitar at all. But yeah, screw it. I'm going to just keep doing it. So it's all good. I got some headphones and they can use them anytime they want. I don't have any wives, by the way, just not yet anyway. So yeah, acoustics are cool, but the electric's just, it's a whole different beast, and I love it. I love the electric guitar. It's But I have been criticized before my YouTube days for not being as in love with acoustic guitars as other people. But that's just because I'm an electric guitar man. Anyways, Giglor's Ibanez is ultra rare, with ultra rare case letting you for 100,000 pay shipping. That's rare in its own right. For 100K, it better come with its... How long do we get into the show? We got an hour and 7 minutes into the show before I have to utter the words. It better come with its own glory hole. Did I say that out loud? No, you didn't say it out loud. I had to. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate that. 100K for a guitar. I would just think, imagine what you could buy for 100 grand. And guitars are cool and awesome. And listen, if I won the lottery, I would spend more than 100 grand on guitars. Definitely. I don't play the lottery, but if I did, I would spend the winnings on lots of guitars. But like there's places in the world you can buy a pretty decent house for that. And you buy a nice car. I don't know, man. I don't think I could shell out 100 grand for a guitar. That cost 10 grand initially. That'd drive me up the wall. But then again, people pay more than that for a guitar that originally cost around $300 back in 1959. So it is what it is, as they say. Marcia says, my internet went out for a bit. I think I'm back up. Oh, Marcia, you missed the best part of the whole Chord Dave Live experience we've ever had. Someone came in and gave out just loads of vintage guitars. Anyone who was here, but you had to be here at the moment, and they left, and there's no record of it. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, it's all good. Thanks for popping back. Hope your internet's doing all right. Yeah, it's just been normal Chord Dave Live Saturday stuff. So, questions and answers. Glenn says, I don't know why I've never been a big fan of the Iceman. Don't dislike them, just not for me. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they're that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people think if you feel something's just not for you, that you hate them, and it's not the case. We all like things. We all just not interested in other things, and that's all good. And these things change as well. There was a time when I was like, I'm not into SGs. I don't think I'm an SG person. Played one. Was like, this is what I've been missing my whole life, and I've loved SGs ever since. So yeah, it's things change, and maybe eventually you'll come to love the Iceman. I think they're pretty cool, but I've never had one. Never really been inclined to buy one. But if someone offered me one at a good price, I'd consider it for sure. Matt says, I would have to buy a HB Firebird, especially in white. Super cool looking guitars. Surely only a matter of time. I think what they're trying to do before they release them is get the pickups right. So if they do, like if they came out with something that had P90s in it or mini humbuckers, I'm pretty sure they have guitars Harley Benton with mini humbuckers, but I don't think they've ever got them 100%. They're trying to just get that Firebird pickup just right. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully soon we'll know. But yeah, I'd have to buy one probably because it would be very cool, and they probably won't be around for very long, so you might have a short window to pick one up if they do put them out. Benny says, for me, with shipping, fees and taxes, a slick plus case come around 600 USD. Would you say it's still worth it? That's a good question. Yeah. So yeah, Glenn, if you can answer that for Benny, that'd be cool. Ryan says, yeah, they have a cracked mirror remake out. Saw it today. I'd pass on that for now. I would probably actually, to be honest with you, get a little bit OCD about it. Be like, is it cracked? Did I damage it further? I don't even know how, because I've never seen one in person. But they're pretty. They're pretty interesting. It's one of those ones. If you're playing in a band, it'll look great on stage. But yeah, it wouldn't be a bedroom guitar for me anyway. Scott says, Epiphones with the Gibson truss rod covers bug me. Yeah, it's unnecessary. So I agree with you there, 100%. Dave Lewis says, give the Sire Larry Carlton guitars a go. They're outstanding. Yeah, I believe they're pretty good. The best video on YouTube for them is the Guitaristas did a review a little while ago now, a couple of months ago maybe. I think they also put out the comparison with all the Les Paul, or sorry, single cut models. Very cool guitar channel, Guitaristas. Check it out if you haven't already. But I've mentioned it so many times. I'm sure you guys have. I've seen some of you over there, by the way, on their channel, and I love seeing that. Definitely a channel worth supporting. But yeah, I think Colin, am I right in saying he wasn't blown away by it? But compared to other guitars, but I haven't watched the recap of all the comparison ones because I know that's going to make me want to buy one. So, yep, it was on the list for checking out. Definitely, Dave. Thanks for that, for reminding me, because sometimes, yeah, like I'll have stuff I want to check out and I forget about them. So it does super help when you point it out in the comments there. So I'll probably spend a lot of tomorrow now looking up those ones. So thanks for that. Yeah, definitely we'll take that on board for sure. And Slodger, here's to you. Doesn't Epi have a Silverburst anniversary Les Paul out now? Pretty sure I saw one today. It wasn't the Adam Jones though. I don't know. They might do. Yeah, it's very possible. I haven't seen it. There might be coming. Might be something I've heard. They have some new Les Pauls coming soon. But again, not trusting any information I get about Epiphone or Gibson anymore. Maybe I'm on like a list of like, feed this guy bad information. Who knows? It's possible, but very possible. I know Harley Benton have a Silverburst model, which I've been tempted to buy just for the crack at times, to be like, look, it's a Silverburst guitar. I've just never been into Silverburst. I like silver guitars. I think they look kind of cool. They look kind of black and white photograph type, kind of. There was Gibson did one, an SG a few years ago. Looked like it was just plucked out of a black and white photograph, or like a, I don't know enough about photographs, but it just looked perfect. I see them on Reverb occasionally pop up. I want to pick them up, but yeah, for some reason the Silverburst has never done anything for me. And the antique Silverburst, to be honest with you, I think it looks like snot, so I'm not interested in it at all. But some people love it, and hey, those people are weird. Sorry to say it. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, everyone's into different stuff, so it's all good. Todd says, my Epiphone SG has a Gibson truss rod cover. It also has Gibson pots in it. Made in Korea, Samick factory, and better than any Gibson SG special I've ever played. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, Todd's mentioned that SG a lot of times, and I'm quite envious. But yeah, Epiphones are cool, SGs are cool, Epiphone SGs are awesome. To the point where I sold my Epiphone, or sold my Gibson to keep my Epiphone SG. That's how good the Epiphone is. So when you get a good one, I think you just fall in love with it. I think that's the truth. When you get a good Epiphone SG, it's never leaving you. That's my opinion. It's my thoughts on it. You guys might think differently, but I love mine. And Todd Moore's opinion on his seems to back up mine. So we must be correct. Right, Todd? Benny, I love my Slick. I didn't get a case with mine last year. I ended up trading my other T style because the Slick got played more. And so it happens when you get a guitar you really love and it gets played more. The other ones sometimes got to go. Yeah. Scott says Gibson Pickups too. Figured that's why they do it. I think it might be why they do it. Yeah, but I also think at some point it was like they were just trying to sell more Epiphones and trying to put a prestige to them by putting the Gibson name on them. Because there is people out there who are like, oh, I have a Gibson Epiphone. No, you don't. You just have an Epiphone, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I see that's the thing. You know, you've got to really just ignore the truss rod. Anything that's written on the truss rod cover is not important. That's what I will say. If it's written on the guitar, it's important. Truss rod covers are plastic for the most part. They don't matter. So anyway, let's roll on. Matt Von Bosch says, Dave, I've seen Anderton's offering some heavy discounts on the Epiphone Slash series. Do you think it is a lack of demand or overproduction? Interesting, Matt. So my understanding is that those guitars have not sold to the levels they expected, and they've not sold in comparison to the Gibson equivalent in the same numbers. And there's a very obvious reason. And people who just jump into comment sections on my YouTube video about it, say the same thing. Custom Pro Bookers. And I'm sorry, but if you're paying top dollar Epiphone money these days, you're getting Gibson Pickups. And that's what those guitars should have had. But instead, they're putting in Epiphone Pro Booker pickups. I don't care what they say about custom Pro Bookers. Some dude jumped into my chat and said, hey, I work at Gibson. They are custom wound pickups. They may be custom wound. That's fantastic. They're still Epiphone Pro Bookers. So if they put USA made Gibson pickups like they did in the 1959s, like they did in the SG61 Les Pauls that came out, because they're just in around the same money. The Lazarus as well is another one, in around the same money, and they're not selling. It's because people are looking at the spec sheets and saying, hey, those guitars don't measure up. And I knew it was going to happen, and that's why I called it out, and that's why I said I wasn't buying one. And if you remember last summer, I was the one who leaked the information. I don't think I leaked the information first, but I was one of the first people to be mentioning it. I was definitely the first person out there with the price, and I was shocked, to be quite honest with you, that they weren't putting Gibson pickups. So yeah, my understanding from speaking to the people I know who can get me information about Gibson and Epiphone is that they didn't sell anywhere near expected. Somewhere around 50% of what they were expecting is what they did. So when it comes to those guitars, I think they realized they made a mistake. And will they rectify it and have a special edition proper ones? I think there'll be an update to those guitars maybe next year, and you will see Gibson pickups put back into them. And this range will get sold out at blowout prices. I think once they get under 600 euros, they're worth picking up. But nowhere, like I wouldn't pay 750 for one. I don't know what Andertons are doing them for, but if they get under 600, I think they might be worth picking up. Because honestly, at that point, you're in Pro Booker money. But anyway, yeah, thanks for your question, Matt, and thanks for pointing that out to us. I do feel passionate about that, but the one thing that annoys me about that video, people will still comment on it. Like this week, I still had a comment saying, but they're not Pro Bookers, they're custom Pro Bookers. I was like, dude, this video came out 2 weeks before that announcement. And it did. And the only information we had then was that it was Pro Bookers. And actually, someone in the 3-Chord Dave community sent me an email with the information. I'm not going to say who it was, but if you're there, you know who you are. And showed me that they were Pro Bookers. And that's why I made that video. They shouldn't be Pro Bookers. They should have been Burst Bookers all along. And yeah, if you don't sell what people are expecting you to sell, you're not going to sell as many. Some people dig them. Some people like the custom Pro Bookers, think they're great. Yeah, it's just a matter of principle for me though. They had to live up to specs, and there are better guitars for the same money in the Epiphone range. That's why I think they're not selling. But it's cool that they're starting to drop prices, and I think, yeah, now's the time probably to get a good deal on them. But anyway, there's a long-winded answer. Let's see. So what did I miss, guys? I guess I just came back. I came back just in time to catch Dave saying Glory Hole. Yes, he did. Yep. Did anyone mention a certain guitar YouTuber just yet? Rhymes with Brogley? No. We've talked about Geek Lord a little bit, but not Brogley, no. The reason I didn't get one is because the custom shop Gibson Victoria is only 3 times as much. Not enough offered pickup wise. 2, I get I might get one when Epiphone do a custom version. Yeah, very interesting. Todd says the pickups are Epi, I think, but they have the same resistance readings as Gibson's and sound sublime. I like the Chinese Epis. Just my ear, but maybe they... just my ear, maybe, but they sing. That's Todd Moore talking about his SG, by the way. And Epiphone SGs from Korea. Very, very cool guitars. I'll just say that. Scott says, standard ain't special enough. It's true. It's very true. Or family trips. Hi from Alaska. Keep up the great videos, Dave. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping in from Alaska. That's a very far way away. Very far way away. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Glenn says, I think for me, I've always liked the Explorer, and the Iceman comes close to that design, and my mind always sees an Explorer. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, Explorers are very cool as well. I've been very tempted to pick up an Explorer now that I've ventured into the, what do they call them? The designer guitars, or is it the heavy guitars with the V? Got to get an Explorer to go beside it, right? And just wait for them to put out a Modern and pick that up as well. Yeah, very cool. Explorers for sure. SB, nice to see you, SB. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us for a bit. And Todd says, Paul Stanley's original cracked mirror Iceman is showing signs of its age. I'd have to display, not play. Yeah, geez, what was it, 79, I think you said? So it's getting on. Yeah, it's getting on. And I know, being in that age range myself, things are starting to fall apart. Like knees and everything just not working as well as they used to. I've got to admit, now that I'm almost 40, my dream of becoming a professional basketball player probably over. I don't know, but the Knicks want to give me a call, I could probably still play for them because they're not very good. Or they weren't the last time I saw them anyway. Marcia, what have you missed? Harley Benton apparently have a 24.75 inch Fusion, and Guitar Fetish has a Slick Guitars 24.7 inch Cabronita telly. So there you go. Yeah, Benny, pop that information in for you, Marcia. Actually, yeah, so hopefully you picked that up in the chat there. And Chris says, I'm back from getting more brew. Can't beat that. Glenn says, Benny, I'd say it's a good deal. I think you'll be happy with it. And I did some research on the cases. They seem good quality. Didn't get a case when they were out. I wanted, otherwise I would have one. And Matt says to Scott, it's a good point. If Gibson version is only 3 times the Epi, then it's definitely a better deal. That's very true. Ryan says, just check the website. It's an anniversary Epiphone Silverburst Les Paul custom. I hate Silverburst, to be honest. It looks like aged aluminium siding. Yeah, it does. That's very true. Antique Silverburst is as disgusting as the Antigua from Fender. SB, I agree with you. I don't know what they were thinking with that Antigua finish. I don't know why people like it, but people do like it, and fair play to them. I will never be enticed by it whatsoever, but it is, it's one of those weird ones. Like I would never think it was appealing, but some people just like love it and want to collect everything in those colors. So, each to their own. That's what I think. Dave Lewis says, why do you keep trying to look like you're drinking that beer when you're clearly not? You realize this show is me talking, Dave. That's all I do on the show is talk, and occasionally I will take a sip from the beer. And then usually what happens is after the show, I get to actually drink my beer, because otherwise it'd just be me sitting here drinking, and I don't think that would be a lot of fun. At least not until I've had 3 or 4 of them. So anyway, but thanks for your concern about the beer. It will get drunk eventually, but as I said, usually after the show, but thanks. Have a lemonade. Occasionally I will have a lemonade, yeah, but Saturday nights usually have a drink at some point. But thanks anyway. Ryan chipped in, because an empty glass would look odd. It would very much so. Todd says, my favorite is the people on Marketplace selling the Maestro as Gibson's. Maestro by Gibson trash as Gibson's. It is a keyword abuse to do that, and my Epi was advertised as Gibson Epiphone too. There you go. I think that's the thing. Yeah, the Maestro by Gibson. I actually forgot all about those. That's actually pretty funny. Scott is tired of pro bookers. They have their place. That's the thing, Scott. But yeah, I get your point completely. Vincent Doyle, nice to see you. Love Korean Epiphones, and I can't bring myself to buy the new Chinese Epiphones. Yeah, listen, some people just don't want to buy the Chinese ones. That's understandable from a certain point of view. So yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on that. That's a good standpoint. Scott says, not very inspiring sound from That's the Pro Bookers. You can get good ones and bad ones, I think. But yeah, I get what you're saying, for sure. Glenn says, my Epi 59 has the Gibson pickups in it. It was one of the reasons I didn't mind paying extra for them. Exactly. And it was a good thing that they brought Gibson Pickups to them. I was very happy they did that. But as I said, if you're going to charge top money, you got to then match the specs with the other top guitars. And obviously they didn't feel like doing that this time around. Todd Moore says to SB, I've always thought the same about Silverburst and Antigua finishes. Ugly cousins. We're all on the same page. I'm sure some people in here will love them. Anyway, my Epi Les Paul is a Korean 2002 with a Gibson truss rod cover. Doesn't seem anything special. I think there's a lot of mythologizing about this era. Go for big money on eBay, though. Very cool. Yeah, hey, it's good you have one of those from 2002. Very cool. You should watch John Robson's Beer O'Clock Friday live stream. I do. I've seen it. And yeah, cool. He does his show how he does his show. So that's very cool. Yeah, absolutely. But thanks for the advice, Dave. I do appreciate it. Muddy H2O, greatest name on YouTube, with yet another super chat. Always appreciate it. Thank you so much. Helps, as I said, to support the channel. He says the beer is a prop. His real drink, wine cooler, is hidden behind Chuck. Isn't there, right, David? Yeah, but don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Let's just pretend to drink some more beer. Oh no, I think I know where that dislike came from. Hey, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Sorry yours didn't come with the magic. This is to Matt Van Bosch, but I've been offered a good bit of cash for mine, and it's right here next to me as I type. And to be fair though, I've not played a lot of Epi LPs. I'm an SG guy like Dave. Yeah, Epi SGs are cool. And yeah, Todd and I definitely on the SG page for sure. Ryan says, my first electric was a year 2000, approximately Epi Les Paul. Same thing, it had a Gibson TRC, truss rod cover, guys. Sold it for 150 when I was broke. Yeah, I've had to sell guitars when I was broke as well. It's always sad. It's always sad. And then I think someone asked last week, like, do you ever regret selling them? Yeah, for sure. Sometimes when I do. Let me see. Ryan Byrne, sorry, with super chat. Thank you so much for that. It says for an opaque pint glass. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yeah, obviously the beer drinking has become an issue on the channel that I need to cover up. So thank you so much. Or lack of beer drinking on the channel. So yeah, but it is a guitar channel. That's what we're talking about, and emphasis on the talking about. But thank you so much. That means a lot. Thanks guys for the super chats. Super cool of you. Marsha says a Silver Burst isn't my jam, but some people really love them. There's a metal YouTuber that buys as many Silver Bursts as possible. Oh my god, forgot his name, but Dave watches him sometimes too. And I watch a lot of guitar YouTubers. It's not ringing a bell buying the Silver Bursts, but it could be. Is it Stay Metal Ray? Is he buy him? I can't remember, to be honest, but it could be Ray. Let me see. Benny says, I have to say my 2019 Chinese Epi SG is the best Epi I've ever played. After the most recent takeover, they sorted out a lot of issues that Epiphone were having. To be honest, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them. But yeah, mine's 2020, and I love it. Marcia says, oh my god, why on earth has Dave been reading comments out of order the past few weeks? Is he using a new streaming platform? I think he needs to check his comment settings. Not using a new streaming platform, using the same one. They all look in order to me. I don't know, is everybody seeing them out of order? Because, let me see, let me get down to this comment on YouTube. It'll take me just a second to do so. And let's see. What I do is if I see if a super chat comes in, I jump down to them and then I come back. So maybe that's something to do with it. Super chats don't come in every week, and when they do, I try to prioritize them as comment because they should be prioritized. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, look, from what I can see, They seem to be in order. So sorry if that's the case, but yeah, they do appear to be syncing up here from what I can see. But let me know what's going on with them. Let's see. Ryan says the tab board, Paul Stanley should get the Windex out for it. For the Iceman mirror. Absolutely. That would seem to make sense. All right. Ryan says I'm 38. I still want to be a star high school athlete. Yeah, me too. Me too. Still reliving the glory days on the basketball court when I was like 16. Seems like a lifetime ago now. Glenn says, way to kill my dream, Dave. I'm turning 58 on the 28th. So you're telling me I've missed the window to be a goalie for Chelsea? Not the way their goalie played today. I think you could pretty much get in there, just, you know, give them a call and see if they're up for hiring a 58-year-old goalie. Probably do a better job because I think they conceded 4 today. So there you go. Dave Lewis says, have you got one of those magic trick beer glasses? No, but all right. Glenn, or rugby forward. Well, there you go. Look, never give up your dreams, Glenn. Never, never, ever. As I said, Chelsea probably take you on because it had a bad day. Matt says, having seen an Antigua in person, I confirm it is all wrong, even on a Jazzmaster. Oh yeah, on a Jazzmaster they look particularly poor, I think so. But hey, that's it. Let's see. SB says, glad you gents have good taste. Antigua looks like a Taco Bell shirt. Well, there's something I didn't. I mean, I thought that was less likely to come up than glory holes, but on the stream. But there you go. And again, if you're new and you're hearing, you're like, why are they talking about glory holes? It's all Steel Panther's fault. So check them out. Steve Norvell, nice to see you, Steve. Thanks for joining us. I'm an Epiphone guy, but I did get a Firefly SG style and an LP style guitar, and I love them. Not as good as the Epiphone, but pretty damn good. Yeah, I was talking to Firefly recently and saying, look, I want to buy a guitar, but like, how do you ship to Ireland? How do you ship them? What's the cost for shipping and stuff like that? And they actually wouldn't give me an answer. They were like, we'll look into it for you. And then they never came back to me. But yeah, I'd like to check them out, basically, is the thing. So what I'll probably do is get them shipped to my forwarding company in New Jersey, get them to send me one, maybe some stage over the summer. But they do appear to be quite interesting, all right. Glad you're enjoying yours. That's pretty cool. Let's see. So we had beer is just a prop. It is. This is such a great time every week. Really picks me up a bit to be here. Great stress relief, and I bet I'm not the only one who feels like that. Todd Moore, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun for me to listen. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. Sometimes on a Saturday, I'm like, no, I got to do a live stream. But it's always fun to do, and it always does pick me up. You know, there are other things we could all be doing on a Saturday evening, but it's great to spend time with you guys and hang out. It's super cool. You know, it's all part of that YouTube journey, and once you go live, you never go back. I'm not sure that's the saying, but there you go. Ryan says, Antigua looked kind of cool on the Coronado. Oh, I think by saying that, you lost one cool point. I do like the Coronado. I think it's a very cool guitar. Oh, I just couldn't take Antigua. No, if you were giving me one for free, I'd let you give it to someone else. Todd Moore can have it. You're welcome. Scott says, I've never heard a P90 I didn't like. They are what I would call inspiring. Yeah, I love P90s. I really do. I saw Slash asked recently, why has he never played P90s? And he said they're just too loud. Like for the stage show that he does, they're too noisy for how loud he plays. So that's kind of interesting. So I think, although I think I saw somebody recently play one at a pretty loud show. So who knows? But I love a P90. I think they're great. Yeah, inspiring. Absolutely. Yeah, they definitely got that. Chris says, I'm kind of buzzed. It's all because this is how we do it. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. You know, take care of yourself and enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about. Hey, Dave, what's your favorite Les Paul of all time? Great question. great question. I don't know, to be honest. I'd have to put a bit of thought into that. I love a gold top. I do love a gold top. I'm trying to think of, you know what'll happen is I'll think of something really cool later on, like at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. Mohammed. So, to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of the rather unplayable 1952 gold top Les Pauls, like the very first ones. I hope they reissue them at some point this year. I think there might be something. It'll probably be like a special edition from what I'm hearing, limited edition. Yeah, listen, I think the gold top's never going to go out of style. So let's just go with that. But I know at some point, in terms of signature models, something like maybe Bonabirds are pretty cool, actually. I do like them. And Slash has had some pretty cool signature models. But when it comes to favorite Les Paul of all time, it's probably just gold top with P90s. That'll be my answer there. Hopefully that makes sense. Matt says, Todd, I still have mine, and after changing the switch and pickups, it is a lot better. Not saying it isn't great, but the whole Korea versus China thing seems a bit tired and seller driven. Yeah, look, I'm not going to get into it too much. Some people have a political thing where I'm not going to buy anything that's made in China. I personally don't think it's possible to avoid buying things that are in China, but you can make conscious decisions item per item if you're not to buy a Chinese thing, and that's where it is. So listen, wouldn't knock anyone for making a decision like that. I think that's perfectly fine, and everyone's right to do so. Korean ones, I think, had some very. I mean, I've never had anyone tell me they had a Korean one that was poor or that they didn't like. But you know, obviously, you had your thing there. It's the first time I've had someone say that it wasn't the best Epiphone of all time. So, you know, you never know. But I think with anything Epiphone, sometimes you get really great ones and sometimes you don't. It's all good. Todd says, I just bought an Ibanez RG that has 2 bootstrap USA made P90s that are at the absolute limit. If you like that sound, these are called Clears, and they're so transparent. Awesome. Very cool. That sounds great, Todd. Glad you're enjoying that one. Did anyone see Tim Pierce's latest video? It features a Fender Ed O'Brien Strat with a unique neck that he modded, but the standard pickups are really interesting. The Ed O'Brien Strat that came out a couple of years ago, Sustainer was built in or something. Was that a couple of years ago? Or was it longer than that? I can't remember. But yeah, very cool stuff he does there. All right, now we have it in the next one. Sustainer Driver, Texas Special, Seymour Duncan, JB Jr. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Ed O'Brien from Radiohead, of course, if you're not familiar. Very cool dude. With all due respect, I've only seen garbage come out of China ever since Epi moved there. Well, my SG Special is special, and it's brilliant. So there you go. But I know what you're talking about. I have seen terrible guitars made in China. I've seen terrible guitars made in every factory I've purchased one from. So, but yeah, there tends to be more made there. That's why you're going to see more bad ones. Yeah, absolutely. I get what you're saying there. No doubt, 100%. I think Scott is right. We see it in order, but Dave might have it set to top chat. I don't. It's just in all comments. So top chat on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I do have it set to. I'll change it next week, but as like it just comes through all comments for me on the streamer thing. SB Glory Days. Say Glory Days. I'm trying to alter the narrative here. Glory Days sounds better than the whole version. Anyway, yes, Stay Metal Ray loves Silver Burst guitars. There you go. Yeah, Stay Metal Ray. He's another great YouTuber you guys should check out if you haven't already. Makes some very cool videos. Seen Marsh over there a few times in the comments section. Todd Moore says Dave's following in order on my screen. There you go, Scott. Todd backing me up. Appreciate it. I'll send that bribe in the post as soon as I can, Todd. Thank you so much. Just to be clear, there's no bribe actually going in the post, but thanks for that anyway. Anyway, that Fender neck, Tim Pierce modded. Pardon my I brought a secret Fender division to light that I had no idea exists. All right, cool. Tell us more. That's interesting. All of a sudden, glory holes, not so bad. They're still pretty bad. Do you prefer a Carina V or an Explorer? Well, Mohammed, good question. I have recently purchased a Flying V, and that is the reason I will say Carina V. I like the Explorer very much so, but I've recently converted to a Flying V. I'm a big Flying V fan now that I play one almost every day. And yeah, that's it. So a V for me. And I know a couple of people would say that as well. Let's see. The Asian Redneck says, howdy, y'all. Howdy, Asian Redneck. Good to have you here. Thanks for popping by. Muddy H.O. says, if he doesn't say Carina V, I'm unsubbing. I did say Carina V, right? Hopefully so. Don't unsub. It's actually it's not allowed to unsub from the channel, so yeah, please don't. But yeah, it is my choice. It's a V. You all knew I was going to say that. Then all of a sudden, glory hole not so bad. Taco Bell. Jess says, "What's up? What's all this glory hole chat? Where is a glory hole on a guitar type of pickup?" Jess, I don't know if you've been around the channel. One of the early live streams, somebody mentioned Steel Panther. Steel Panther have a song called Glory Hole, and ever since then it's been brought up every single episode. So yeah, it's kind of one of those running jokes that I feel like have put off people from subscribing to the channel, but it's a Steel Panther reference. Just got out of hand, and people run with it. Oh man, I don't know. It's gonna eventually get me put off YouTube, I think. But thanks for the question, and you're welcome for the inadequate answer. And Glenn says, good question, Jess. Can't wait to hear Dave's answer. Well, there you go. I kind of chickened out of answering it properly. Steel Panther. It's all Steel Panther's fault, and usually Glenn's fault. It's Glenn who brings it up most weeks nowadays. But you know, there's a lot of people not too far behind either. Going to play my J Max's Jazz Master. Listening still. Peace and love. Yeah, take care, Chris. Thanks for dropping by. We appreciate it. Enjoy your session there. And the Fender comes with a sample neck, but Tim wanted a rosewood, and he got it from the model shop, not the mod shop. Oh, interesting. Very cool. Yeah, Tim Pierce has a lot of knowledge. So definitely, there you go. Anyway, the Fender neck Tim got from to mod. The guitar came from the model shop, not the mod shop. The model shop is a research and development department with like 4 or 5 guys experimenting. Well, there you go. Yeah, I haven't seen that video yet, so I do like Tim Pierce, so makes some very good content and is an excellent guitar player, so very cool. Andrew Collins says, you think they will ever make the Silver Sky SE with a maple fretboard? I would almost guarantee it, but you know, they'll wait for everybody to buy the rosewood necks or fretboards first, and then they'll sell the maple fretboards as well. Let me see. Dave Lewis has said, I love gold top guitars. The Harley Benton P90 gold top is an outstanding guitar. Very cool. Yeah, the awful Harley Benton I had was actually a gold top, but that was years and years ago. I like how the current ones look. Would be very tempted by one of those for sure. But yeah, glad you like gold top P90s. Very cool. And Marcia says, my bad, 3 or 4 people, not 4 or 5. Okay. The secret lab sorts, it's not a secret now. Yeah, so his neck has a cool stamp on it from that department. Very cool. Ryan says, yes, it's a type of pickup similar to Dirty Fingers. We won't go there. We won't. Hopefully. I find guitars and companies more known for amps very interesting. Vox, the Line 6, etc. Interesting, yeah. That is interesting. Or Family Trip says, I don't know if I got a lemon, but my Jared James Nichols Gold Glory is a dog. Neck angle seems off. Wow, that's interesting. I haven't actually heard of anyone else having issues with them, but so like most people seem to be rave reviewing those guitars, and very much something I want to pick up at some point. Hopefully they won't sell out, excuse me, completely before I do get my hands on one. But very cool stuff indeed. Hopefully wherever you got it from can sort it out for you, because if the neck angle is off, yeah, gonna have to be sorted out. Yeah, definitely sounds like a lemon, to be honest. Family trips, so let us know how that goes for you. Ryan says, I agree, I've played a Vox Bobcat, that was awesome. Supro makes some awesome cheap guitars too with gold foils. Excellent, yeah. Haven't played a Supro in a long time, like a long time. Did anyone ever hear of this secret lab at Fender? I sure never heard anyone about it. I never heard of it, and Tim Pierce has way more contacts than I have, so maybe that's why we never heard of it. Ryan says, gotta go, and bye everyone. Bye Ryan, thanks for dropping by, appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat, and take care of yourself. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Matt says, I haven't played a Chinese Epi Les Paul, so no frame of reference, but Epi are selling an awful lot of Chinese guitars with many happy customers. I get Korea is considered superior to China though. Yeah, true. I think Epiphone, well, the way Epiphone run is, I think, different. How they run a lot of their companies run their Chinese operation, but I'm not 100% on what they're doing. But I know that they have their own, completely different, their own factory setup and stuff. But I do believe that factory gets used in other ways, and it's probably not supposed to, Gibsons and so forth. But that's unofficial. Who knows? I know they're not all made there, by the way, but I think there's a few cheeky people popping out stuff they shouldn't. Glenn says, the Glory Hole pickups work best with the push-pull pots. Dirty fingers are best stationary. It just never stops, man. It just never. I'm pretty sure there are people who have watched the stream and are like, what is going on? And have just never come back. I'm certain it's happened. But it's fine. If you stick around and stick with it, it gets fun, right? Hopefully. Martin says, by the way, did everyone thumbs up the stream yet? Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Make sure you have thumbs up. Done that to the stream. We've got 37 of them and one of them. So let's just make it. Let's make it a 40-1. We got about 10 minutes, and we're gonna call it a day then. So if you haven't liked it, please do so. Helps out the channel. Dave Lewis again says, I had my black and gold V out for the play earlier this week. First time this year. Very cool. Yeah, V's are excellent. Black and gold V. So one V, black and gold, not two, a black one and a gold one. It'd be cool to have two. It'd be cool to have a black one and a gold one. But very cool, Dave. Yeah, hope you had fun with it. So yes, Jess says, so Glory Hole isn't a type of pickup. Sadly not, but I feel like if Glenn and I started a pickup company, then it would be. So Glenn, you up for making some pickups? Oh man, I'm gonna have to do a special edition t-shirt with Glory Hole written on it, aren't I? All right, well, if I do, you guys better buy them. Glenn says, maybe we can alternate Steel Panther's Glory Hole with Jackals. I'm a lumberjack, baby. Every other show, maybe. I mean, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Marcia says, Glory Hole can be used to pick someone up or pick something up. I don't even want to get into that. Comments about Glory Holes and 4 or 5 guys experimenting are the kind of guitar-related tidbits I come here for. Todd, you just hit the nail on the head. There's a subtext to this channel that I never intended, but hey, it's all, you know, it's all good. You know, we're all just hanging out. Some more than others, but hey, it's all good. And Glenn says, Jess, it's a running joke. It's a Steel Panther song. Dirty Fingers are pickups though. Dirty Fingers are pickups, and I'm looking for some original ones. By the way, if you see some at a good price, let me know. Just to throw that out there, why not? My humble opinion, P90s are the best pickup of all time, and every legend has used it at one point or another. The Beatles, the Stones, the Who. Mohammed, I've said the same. Yeah, P90s are my favorite. If I could only have one guitar, or I could only have one type of pickup, it would be P90s. So I absolutely agree with you there. Good shout out on P90s. I love them. They're just awesome. And yeah, you're right. Now all the legends have used them. And that's where Les Paul started. So there you go. Dave Lewis says, I'm looking forward to my Larry Carlton Gold Top arriving this week from Germany. Very cool. Yeah. NGDs are always awesome. So enjoy that, Dave. That's going to be super cool for you. So yeah, coming from Germany, that's cool. If you bought it from Thomann, they're always great. So even if you have any problems, or hopefully you won't have any problems, but if you do, don't worry about getting onto them. They've always taken care of me whenever I've had an issue. Glenn says, one gift we can give Dave is on the 23rd for his birthday is no GH talk that night. I don't think that's possible in this community, and I'm fine with it. It's all good. It's just, I do think there are times when people will be watching going, what's going on? Of course, that's only if they know what a glory hole is. It's a song by Steel Panther, of course. Not a lot of people know all the Steel Panther collection. The library. There you go. Fun fact, Springsteen's Glory Days was written on a bathroom. Not going to go into specifics, but glory was found and holes filled. All right. Well, there you go. You never know where inspiration for songs and albums come from. Thanks for that, SB. Appreciate it. Marcia does say, not likely going to happen, Glenn. Yeah, and that's what I expect. Great intentions will be had, and then it'll just slip out. So many innuendos. Anyway, Andrew Collins said, have you played on a Supro tube amp? I haven't. No, not yet. Want to explore more with amps. We'll probably have to wait until I move out of this house into somewhere a little bit more rural to play around with amps that I want to. But definitely something to look into in the near future. But love to hear your thoughts. Absolutely, throw it in there. Matt says, Dave, I will buy 3 Glory Hole t-shirts personally. Make it happen. Money. The plan is to have a special edition t-shirt every month. So let's see what happens in May. The Freebird one, this one here is running till the end of April. We'll give it a week off from the special editions then, and I'll pop up a new special edition for May, and we'll see what happens. I'll put it on the list, put it on a post-it note, and see what happens. Dave says it's a black V with all gold hardware and fixtures and fittings. That is awesome, Dave. Yeah, very cool stuff. Can't argue with that. Flying V's are awesome, and I've definitely hit the Flying V hard in the since it arrived, which was a couple of months ago now. And definitely love it. It's my second favorite guitar after the SG now, and but it's catching up. I love it. Let's see where we are. We got about 5 minutes or so left, guys. One more like. If you haven't hit like, let's do it. Marcia says, in fact, I'm willing to bet there will be over the hole type jokes once Dave officially hits 40. Yes, Marcia, I have to say I agree with you. That is probably going to happen. That's all good. As long as we're all having fun, then hey, it's all great. Thank you to whoever just hit the like button. 40 likes, appreciate it so much, guys. Super cool. Thanks a million. Dave never posted Craigslist ad looking for 30 fingers. Speechless, I think is yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. Yeah, Todd Moore appreciated that. I was watching a thing on Netflix called The Worst Roommate Ever or something like that. It's a documentary series. Every single episode pretty much starts with, so there was an ad on Craigslist. Like, that was your first hint it wasn't going to go well, but all right. We don't really use Craigslist here, but I've used it on my travels or checked it out on my travels. Never, just always worried. It's weirdos. Anyway, I keep insisting on making a 3-chord Dave and Glory Holes t-shirt. That's our band name. We need a demo tape to sell to. All right, well, I'll have to put my design hat on and come up with something. My creative hat, creativity will be tested for that one, Marcia. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out again. We'll see what happens. You guys better buy the crap out of that one if it ever goes for sale, because it'll probably get me banned off Teespring for one. Anyway, guys, there have been a few t-shirt sales this past month. It's actually been really good. So thanks to everyone who has bought a t-shirt. Everything, super chats and t-shirt sales and affiliate links in the description. It all goes into supporting the channel and helping me put videos together and get stuff to make the channel better. So thanks. I really do appreciate it. It means an awful lot to me. And it means a lot to me that you guys come and spend some time with me on a Saturday. So thank you for all of that. And your comments they're not ignored. I just don't go into comments on my videos, and I don't comment on my own videos much. There's a number of reasons for that, which I won't go into because we'll be here all night long. But I do appreciate everything you guys do. Liking, commenting on the videos helps out the channel. And watching a video from start to finish helps. I know that sounds like a weird request, but if you start the video and you watch it all the way through, the algorithm is like, oh, people are digging this video, so they'll recommend it more. So if you're able to do that, that's super cool. If you're not, that's also super cool. Just appreciate all of you. Thanks for joining me on the channel as always. Let's get the last few comments done, and we'll get out of here for the evening. Glenn says, Dave, we can have a special run of Dirty Hall Pickups, special rare limited edition. Absolutely. We put Gibson truss rod covers on them as well, just to make sure they sell. Or maybe we put Gibson truss rod covers on them, because I don't think we can get sued for that. But anyway, look at all the merch ideas. Or Family Trip says, Dave, I'm not sure you want to be known as the glory hole guy. I certainly don't. As I said, it was mentioned as a song was mentioned once, and it took off from there. I know who's to blame, and you know, I keep my eye on them. You got to keep your eye on them. Anyway, can't escape it now. But anyway, yeah, I won't be putting my name on it. It'll just say we'll see what it says. We'll see what it says. SB Bruce said where glory holes should be drilled in that truck driver's bathroom. That's where he got his nickname, the boss. All right, well, hopefully Bruce doesn't see this, because he will sue me. Dave Lewis says, just been watching Dunsi's guitar channel. A lot of great guitar channels out there. Did you guys see Ryan on 60 Cycle Hum shaved his beard? So am I the beardiest guitar YouTuber left now? I'm not sure. Tell me if you think so. Maybe that's something we should do. When I first started growing the beard, I was like, at some point I'll shave it off for charity. Although that kind of scares me, because did you see Ryan looked like he was about 14 when he shaved his beard off? I would look the same. So yeah, who knows? Let's see. Mohammed says, I don't know, for some reason I've been staring at Chuck Berry photograph since the start of the stream. Yep, he's there. You know, you gotta have Chuck Berry nearby all the time. Thanks for having for that. It's cool. You noticed it. Good stuff. Shame he's covered up by the books over there, and you know, the beer that I haven't drunk. Sorry about that, Dave. But anyway, yeah, thanks for checking out the stream. I would appreciate it. Nice to see you. Grandpa Joe says, in advance, Dave and all, hope you have a safe week, and see you all next week. Yeah, see you, Grandpa Joe. Thanks for dropping by, and take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon. Dave says, Dave, have you watched Ryan from 60 Cycle Home shaving off yet? Yeah, absolutely. Dave, sorry, I didn't see your comment when I mentioned that. But yeah, saw that. Scares the life out of me shaving mine off, to be honest with you. But every now and then, I think everyone who has a big beard eventually thinks, might shave off the beard, and then decides not to do it. Anyway, let's just drive in last few comments. We're on 12 o'clock now. A couple of hours flew by, guys. It did. Scott says, thanks, Dave. Pandering or not, you're the best. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the good times as always. Cheers. Appreciate that so much, Scott. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Have a great week. Todd says, thank you, Dave. Peace and love to the TCD family, and until next week. Take care, Todd. Thank you so much for dropping by. Jess says, who's to blame for the glory holes chat? I'm intrigued. I'm not calling them out, but they're there. They're the same people bringing it up every week. There's two of them. The bad eggs. But we're, you know, let's just say I know who they are. I'm not going to call him out. Anyway, thanks for your comments, chat. And, Jess, and I apologize for the inappropriateness of some of the chat. Marsha says, we're all guilty. Marsha's definitely one of the guilty ones. Let's just say that. Thanks, Dave. Another enjoyable show. Have a good week to you and the room. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone have a great week and be careful with Bonamassa and his... Thanks, SB. Thanks. As if Bonamassa doesn't have enough reasons to hate me. But anyway, where are we here? All right, we got to get this ready to wrap up. Benny Larson says, I'm almost innocent. Almost, Benny, almost. And Marcia says, do not shave your beard. I might, birthday coming up. You never know what's going to happen. It's not on my to-do list right now. There's one thing that'll make me shave my beard. I don't think it's happening this week or next week though. So don't worry about it. It's not on my list to do in the near future. So we'll see. Unless you go long enough to shave to donate the hair for a wig for people with cancer. I would love to do that. I don't know if they would accept it, but yeah, if that became a thing, I would absolutely do it. Steve says, love the show. Gotta go. Just purchased the shirt. Thanks, Steve. Thanks so much. Saying you love the show is awesome. Thank you so much. Andrew says, thanks for your time and helpful information. Thank you for stopping by, Andrew. And Matt says, thank you for the chat, Dave. Love this community, even if I did mention Steel Panther first. I love a bit of Steel Panther, to be quite honest with you. It's a guilty pleasure. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. As I said, it's a pleasure. You guys really do make my weekend. So thanks so much to all of you. I'll be back with a video. Guitar wish list will be out on Monday. And then either Tuesday or Thursday this week, I will have a video. It won't be both because it never is. It'll be one or the other, Tuesday or Thursday. And I'm back next Saturday for Chord Dave Live again. So thanks so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Have a great week. And if you have any information, links in the description for how to contact me. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. And I'll see you next week.